the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
Welcome to the Chamber of Commerce Weather Perfect Phoenix, Arizona, where today the NASCAR Cup Series will race, and Ty Reddick is going to try and make it 4 straight races. Half of the group, not half, 40% of this entire group is out here in Phoenix because our engineer Matt Losey is out here too with an experimental setup that may or may not make it to the end of the show. That's pretty exciting because he's going off of battery power on his laptop, and he may or may not make it for an hour. And we are also joined by our Wisconsin contingent, beginning with Brian Schmidt in Utzberg, USA, where it's going to be the center of the universe for the Division IV basketball.
Three. Yes, basketball. We get to repeat, or hopefully. Last year they had a really good run, and they're having a really good run this year. We qualified for state again. My daughter graduated last year, but I still assist the team, so lots of fun up here.
There you go. Exciting stuff. We got a big week. We had a big weekend here in Phoenix, and PJ Noodleman was watching on television from the other side of the state. Hello, young lady.
Hello. 44 degrees in Trempealeau today, so we're not as warm as you all out in Phoenix.
The further west you go, though, I think it gets better. Dan Margetta is back in St. Francis. Hi.
Hey, good morning. I kind of like the IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader thing. I hope they do that again. I'm thinking next year I might go out and check that out because it seems like a pretty good deal.
It's amazing to me where NASCAR has placed IndyCar in the big picture. Okay, we'll be second fiddle to you with our truck series, but if you're going to come and race at Phoenix, where there's going to be actually people in the stands, you're going to have to play second fiddle to our second fiddle, the Norp series. I can tell you that it was a pretty damn big crowd yesterday for the IndyCars. And I hate to get too far ahead because, Brian, this may show up in your results, but I did go to the IndyCar race and I watched the whole thing, and I didn't exactly know what I was watching, and it would have been really handy having you and Dan sit on either side of me.
Yeah, IndyCar. I mean, it's the fastest oval circuit in the country, and probably in the world actually. But no, I think it's a good idea, and it's going to help both series. And with Fox, owning IndyCar, I think that's what's pushed this effort to do this, because there was some pushback from the IndyCar guys at first, but I mean, it was kind of a good give and take. The IndyCar has no problem with attendance at any of their road racing or street circuit tracks. Those things are packed all over. I mean, if you've been to Road America for the IndyCar weekend, those crowds are just massive. It's the ovals where they don't get the largest crowds, with the exception of Indianapolis. So this concept, I think, helped. By all accounts, this crowd for the Saturday event at Phoenix this year was double what they've been any other year on the same weekend. So the spring weekend we're talking about, where you have just what was the Xfinity race, now the Norp Series running. So they doubled the crowd. So I think that helped. That's probably what they were looking for.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's difficult for me to understand for several reasons. One, it's hard to read car numbers. They're tiny and they come by you so fast. Their speed is amazing, obviously. And that part is fun to watch. They certainly have a hard time running right next to each other through the turns because it's such tight tolerances with that wall right there. But there were passes, and they happened so quick that they never raced next to each other. Boom, they're gone. And then I think, what, was that guy there last lap? I was looking somewhere else. It's, for me, not being an aficionado of that sort of racing, it wasn't all that good, and especially when we cleaned the place up, brought out stock cars, and did they put on a show in the Norp Series last night. Different leaders, drama, not a lot of cautions until the end, where there was a couple of well-placed cautions, which it seemed like they could have probably used at the end of that IndyCar race too. But Justin Allgaier ended up winning that thing. I don't know that I was the only one that was really rooting for Carson Kvapil to win his first race, because he certainly had a car that could do that, but circumstances, I guess, late in the race, and Allgaier is a closer, and he did what he was supposed to do. I almost was going to give the phone number. We can't take calls. The phone is back in Wisconsin. Never mind. That was a bad idea. So don't call. If you have the idea, just forget it. No one's going to answer the phone. But this Joey Logano dude, the guy that looks a little more like Mr. Clean than Mr. Clean himself, 135.537 miles per hour, will start from the pole today. 26:56 was his lap around the 1 mile track out here in Phoenix. It's an odd number laps. They try to make it 500 something. It can't be miles because 500 laps is too much. So they have kilometers. And now we know that that's 312 laps equals 500 kilometers. It's been that way for a long time. 1 year they changed it to a 300 lapper. I don't know why. I'd like to find out from the historian at this track why they did that. Just thinking they were going to make it right. It's going to be on FS1. Green flag is at 2:41 Central Daylight Time. Everybody, I take it, has set their clocks ahead, so that's nice. It's going to be perfect weather, 80 degrees, very low chance of any kind of precipitation, sunny, just an absolutely perfect day for a race. Let's talk about Ty Reddick. That kid has really been absolutely spectacular, obviously, winning the first 3 races of the year. For the first time in the series history, what I find is absolutely hilarious is that there are people that believe that as part of Michael Jordan's lawsuit that he won, that they had to allow the 45, or let's put it this way, Michael Jordan to win. What in the hell are you people thinking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they come up with that. I mean, just look at each of the races. I mean, he really it wasn't like he dominated Daytona. He was just in the right place at the right time and won that. Same with Atlanta. I mean, he kind of...
He didn't have a fender.
He came out of nowhere. I mean, now the road course, he was really good. I mean, he was very good on the road course, but he's a good road course racer. He has wins at COTA and Road America before. So
to beat SVG, you got to be good right alone there. And he did. He won convincingly last week. I was going to ask you about that fender business, but there's very little I know about that. I never would have thought a car without a fender could do anything, and that, obviously he did. But allowing Michael Jordan to win, no. If you're going to come up with that kind of a theory, you're stupid. Okay,
you don't know racing. Basically, is what I'd say. You don't know how racing works. You can't fix stuff like that.
You really can't. And Reddick has been, we know how talented that young guy is right there. It just took a while for everything to come together. And it is so cool that Michael Jordan is like he's fat, dumb, and happy, smoking cigars and going, yeah, I guess I got to go to Phoenix. I did see him. You
know what's funny on Reddick now? He's won the first 3 races in a row. They actually had a promo for the race during the World Baseball Classic last night on Fox. And they showed the commercial and come to Phoenix. I think they had Joey Logano's car or something on it. It was all that deal. And they came back, and one of the announcers, AJ Brzezinski, said, how come Tyler Reddick isn't on that commercial? Because he's just won the first 3 races. I think you'd put him as part of your focal point. They didn't forget. Now, remember when he won the back then, the Busch Championship, the Xfinity Championship? They forgot to put him in the advertising after that time, too. We talked to him at, I think it was Chicago or Indianapolis.
Chicago. Yep, Chicago.
And we were talking about that, how they forgot about him. And he called them out on it, and they were kind of mad he called them out on it. And I remember telling him, like, just keep being you, don't change, because this is what people like, don't follow it. And it's the same thing's happening here. And it's just kind of funny, and I heard him say that on that baseball game. I was like, yeah, you're right. They didn't put him in there.
Yeah, I don't know why he is such an oversight to them, but I think his uprise right now with these 3 wins in a row couldn't come at a better time, given that he's kind of on, he lost his sponsor, and I think he really needed to have these wins right now to put himself back on that map in the front and center spot.
And good guy, great race car driver, and doing it for Michael Jordan is pretty awesome right there. We've come to that point where we're going to take a little break. Look at that. Matt's running from a hotel in Phoenix, Arizona. Matt's running the commercials. We'll be right back.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Speaking of chimney mechanics, the LTN exclusive discount is until a week from today. So take advantage of it if you can. It's $50 off any chimney or fireplace inspection, sweep, or repair. $50 off dryer vent cleaning, $100 off air duct cleaning, and it's for Wisconsin addresses only. Check them out on Facebook. You'll be able to get a hold of Jasper Drangler and make sure you mention LTN. It's an exclusive discount for LTN listeners, and it's good for another week yet. So if I were you, I would take advantage of that. Reddick comes up short. Aaron, you're killing me here with that kind of stuff. Yeah, he comes up short. I love watching him and his wife, though. She's about a foot taller than he is. It's it's pretty good. It reminds me of my daughter and her husband, the Icelander. He's about 6 inches shorter than she is. It's beautiful to watch. It was hot last week in Austin, Texas. How hot was it? Well, we had some issues with cool suits, which how come this happens all at the same time? You know, that used to be one of those things where if a cool suit failed, it was very rare and it was kind of sporadic and spread out and all that thing. We had a couple of cool suits that went out last week. Kyle Larson's went out, and I thought, boy, this is going to be a test of his durability here. And AJ Allmendinger's went out also. AJ needed attention when the race was over. He got out of the car and he was immediately on the ground. Kyle Larson hopped out and looked like he was ready to go another 100 laps. It was pretty amazing. But the one that really was, to me, it wasn't a cool suit issue. It was Alex Bowman. He suddenly came down with a case of vertigo. Now, I can tell you from experience, and if anyone listening has ever had an issue with vertigo, it's a son of a bitch to deal with. Driving, I cannot imagine what it's like trying to drive a race car having a case of vertigo. So what happens is he calls in and says, listen, I can't do this anymore. And you get Jamie Little walking by, the reporter with her assistant, Myatt Snyder, who has some experience driving race cars. It's Marty Snyder's kid, right? I think it is.
Yeah, he ran in the Xfinity Series several years.
Okay, well, he was there, and he was lucky enough to be right when that up from Rockford. Damn it, the guy that runs the show for Hendrick. Anyway, he says, "Hey, Myatt, would you be interested in driving the 48 car?" How does that work? So they call up to NASCAR. NASCAR says, I don't know if he's got enough experience to do this. It took 15 minutes for the whole process for NASCAR to approve Myatt Snyder from the tower and have Myatt Snyder get a driver's suit. Wow, who walks around with a driver's suit, Andy?
And a helmet.
Yeah.
And got, what'd you say, Dan?
And
a helmet too.
And a helmet and get in the car. And Bowman is out. He's not even in the car today. Anthony Alfredo is in the car. I thought it would have been Justin Allgaier to take over the car, obviously, with much more experience. And, how about this? He's a better driver than Anthony Alfredo is. The difference is Alfredo is the simulator driver for all of Hendrick Motorsports and was very familiar with everything that's going on. And he's even apparently similar in size to Bowman. And that's how they put Anthony Alfredo in the 48 car today. Amazingly enough, where the hell did he qualify? 31st qualifier out of, we've got 37 cars today. Ooh, there's an extra one in there. That's always fun. So, do any of you guys know what, I mean, why would we have cool suits fail at the same time like that? Isn't that odd?
Chinese parts.
One of the guys on X had put a thing. I can't remember who it was now. It's either that Bosey guy or was it Brian Murphy? Some of the guys that always have some of the technical stuff. An interesting thing in there is that a lot of times you have to get the right amount of air into that suit to have it actually work. And a lot of times the aerodynamic engineers don't want to give up a lot of that air or direct air into that because it hurts them aerodynamic wise. And he thought maybe in this case, maybe some of the aerodynamic engineers won out over the driver comfort guys. And if that's interesting to me, is that's I didn't realize that could be an issue, but it sounds like it could be. So maybe there just wasn't enough air getting directed into that for those suits to work. Other people have said cool suits have been unreliable for a long time, that they're never 100% accurate.
It's basically a rubberized suit that they pump cool water through. Where do they get cool water from in the first place? But
that might have been the old ones. I'm not sure if the new ones work that way.
Is there air or water?
I think it might be air now. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Because, I mean, the old ones used to be like a water thing that ran through your whole, it was a whole suit thing. Now it's something different.
Which made it worse when it was water, because then that was like boiling water when it failed.
When it failed, it really was ugly. It's bad enough having rubber on when it's that hot, or plastic, or whatever the hell that thing is. But interesting that it happened at the same time. Kyle Larson is the man. He got out and no problem. You know, you never would have known he had an issue with the thing. It was pretty cool.
A lot of, I think it was Harvick that said on the broadcast too, that the first hot race of the year is usually when you have issues too, because guys aren't really used to running in the hot. You know, we haven't started through the summer. Like you get to June or July, you've run it a couple of weeks, and you're probably more accustomed to it than jumping right in right now at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
facts
probably have something to do with it. Zane Smith qualified the 38 car in the 24th position, but unfortunately for old Zane, his crew made a unapproved adjustment to the underbody. What in the hell are they doing to the underbody? Whatever it is, it got him put to the rear of the field, and he's got to do a pass through.
That's like an aerodynamic thing, without a doubt, that they were trying to get better airflow for downforce or something.
I have never watched a modern inspection, but they must obviously go under the car, right? And because if it's that critical, they must know exactly where everything is. There's that diffuser thingy. Listen to me, Mr. Techno Todd thingy. But apparently it's pretty critical. I mean, if you mess with it, look what happens.
You'd be surprised nowadays how many small little minute changes can actually make a difference on the
why don't you tell us about the 78 car?
That was Brian, and that was just picking up a sticker, and I almost got them in trouble for that. But I mean, you never know where you find an advantage now. I mean, they go through the testing and through all the stuff that they do, and they're so smart you can find things to do things you wouldn't know would be a great advantage turn out to be something super similar. It could be just pulling a sticker back like we used to do that way. Who knows underneath the car? Who knows what they did? Did they move something around under there? Did they just putting your foot under the car doing something? Maybe you didn't do anything at all, but acting like they did it. It's not going to get you in. You're going to get caught for it. And what's what happened here?
Real briefly, Jimmy Watson. Brian and Dan had stopped to talk to the late, great Jimmy Wildman Watson. And Brian was looking at the 78 car when they were still a thing, racing out of Colorado. And you touched the car, I guess, Brian, right?
Well, I started picking at this black sticker that was on there, and I'm like, what's
It was
what's
peeled
with
up.
this?
It wasn't put down all the way.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I was kind of like picking at it, and he's like, he slapped my hand. Don't touch that. Get away from that. I'm like, what's it do? Never mind. I'm like, okay. And later on, he explained it was, helped with the optical scanner thing or whatever
There
it
you
was.
go. We're going to wait for a break. We'll be right back.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Welcome back to Let's Talk NASCAR. Glad you could join us on this Phoenix race weekend. That was pretty that was pretty low. Hit the cough button before you do that. All right, so dumbass me forgot, and Brian, thanks so much for bringing it up to my attention. But Marty Snyder has been in a race car before, huh?
Myatt Snyder, yes. Myatt Snyder, he's an Xfinity winner. He ran 2 full seasons in the Xfinity Series, and he actually won the Tracker Boats 250 at Homestead in 2021. So he wasn't just some guy walking through the pit area, I guess.
Yeah, and kudos really to NASCAR for not creating more of an issue out of it than they did. I mean, if the guy he's won races, I think you could fast track him through your process, your vetting process to let him in the car. So you did good. Now, this vetting process, that worries me a little bit with old Cletus McFarland. Yes, it's been interesting. Yes, he was a buddy of Greg Biffle. Yeah, he's racing and he's making he's bringing eyes to the sport because he has so many people that think he's funny and watch him on his social media and all this. He didn't do much at Daytona, as we saw. He crashed right away, and then, of course, that was the ARCA race, wasn't it? How does he end up getting himself a part-time Richard Childress ride? Anyone?
Well, Ty Dillon vouched for him.
Well, there you go. Hey, Grandpa, this guy's funny. Let him drive a car.
And maybe the fact that he is only going to take $1 for a year's salary. I don't know.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
What does he have experience? 2 ARCA races? I mean, he ran Daytona twice, right? And a truck race this year, which he crashed out of.
I think he ran a couple extra ARCA races last year. I think he might have been at Charlotte too, or a handful. But yeah, it's less than 10 for sure.
He crashed in his truck test at Rockingham. He crashed in the truck race at Daytona. He didn't run very long. I mean, I didn't take anybody else out. I can see where there's some concern about you have to have some kind of experience. You can't just put anybody in there. I mean, even if he's got 5 million followers. I mean, I like the way Kyle Busch put it yesterday when he told that reporter that, my kid's got more races than him and he's 10.
Yeah. Yeah, and not just that, but his kid is under contract to Richard Childress too. So that's what they need. He jumped ahead of his kid in line. I think that's what really pissed him off. $1 a year. I am going to guess, however, that that's all just for fun and games, and that Cletus McFarland is bringing a pile of cash over there to drive a Richard Childress car. It ain't cheap driving for Childress, is it, guys? You found out the things in the past how expensive.
Well, it usually wasn't, but or he's got 5 million followers. He's bringing that kind of eyes, and maybe they think that can be something that's become something really looked after now. Is how many followers or clicks you can get online, which I think is kind of scary. I mean, remember back in the early 80s, that one guy that who ran the Winston 500? What was that guy's name? L.W. Wright. He was a complete fraud. He never drove a car before in his life. He ended up crashing out. Thank God he didn't take me with him, and that was always a big deal. How could this guy get in a NASCAR race? Well, if he had 5 million followers back then, I guess he can just do it now, right?
I think NASCAR figured out, or somebody told him during the race, that guy is not a race car driver, don't you? What? Yeah, he's never been in a car before or something like that. I remember that. And then they tried to black flag him off the track, and he didn't come off.
He wrecked. I mean, he crashed.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, social media has been a very powerful tool for some people. But is it enough to really put a guy in the middle of a maze like that? Now, Greg Biffle might have actually vouched for him, don't you think, Dan?
Yeah, but to me, it's just a safety issue. We kind of forget about that. I mean, maybe these cars are super safe. We realize that. We have had a major issue in 25 years now, which is great. We don't want to keep bringing it up because you don't want to jinx that. But it seems like, we forget that these cars are still going fast and people can still get hurt. I mean, if you put somebody with no experience, I mean, you and I can't get in a car for a reason, and there should be the same thing here. You got to be able to prove yourself.
And I think that the most difficult part of it all is, unlike all the other forms of motorsports we have out there, you can't go and test. I mean, if you want to go race a dirt late model, you can get in a dirt late model, rent a track, and run all day. If you want to run an asphalt super late model, you can rent a track, you can race all day. You can't do that in these anything that has to do with NASCAR. Yeah. So for him to be allowed to do that without having other prior experience, I think is the most difficult part. If you're NASCAR, they should be thinking about, okay, this guy wants to race. He needs to find, a late model stock or somebody, and you need to go test for a whole day, and you need to, pass this list of type of
simulators. It's about the simulator.
Well, yeah, and I don't even know if he's doing that. And the simulator ain't the same. It ain't the seat of the pants. It ain't the heat. It ain't the, all those other things, the fumes that come in the car. It's none of that. So, back in the day when you could test all you want, this wouldn't, and we didn't do as much of it, this wouldn't have been as big of a deal because he would have got into a car, they would have went to Rockingham, and he would race for, 2 days. They'd test him to get him used to it. Now, because they don't allow testing at all, period, end of story, other than when you need to test a tire, and you're not going to put a guy like that for a tire test, he doesn't get any chance to get used to it. And, I think if NASCAR wants to fix some of this, I think that would be a big part right there is if you have a very unqualified person that wants to drive these cars, that's where you should let them test.
Yeah, I think it really it boils down to the same issue we always seem to have with NASCAR. Nothing is consistent. They need to be consistent with their rulings. They need to be consistent with their approvals, and they're just not.
They did more approval process probably on Myatt Snyder in 15 minutes that they're probably doing on McFarland. Oh, yeah, he wants to drive for Childress. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, do they have a process now? Remember Darlington? You couldn't run if you're a rookie. You couldn't participate at Darlington until you ran. You had to prove yourself. You go around that racetrack. I mean, guys like AJ Foyt had to do that, and he had all kinds of experience.
And there was a driver that would sit down with him too. That kind of got assigned to the rookies, didn't he?
I mean, is that still there, or if Cletus wants to run Darlington, can you just run it?
And then they're talking about one of his races is going to be Talladega. Are you shitting me? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Yes, it'll bring lots of eyes. Hey, Cletus is going to run Talladega. Careful what you wish for. I mean,
and they're going to a track where you don't even have practice. Think about that. The only practice we have on super speedways has come and gone. Daytona. That's it. So if Cletus goes to Talladega and the only thing he's going to do is make his one qualifying lap and then start the race, I don't like that.
He's either going to be spectacular or he's going to piss a lot of people off.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be either. I think he's not going to be out there long, and he's going to either be so far behind everybody or crashed. Yeah, so come on, Cletus. It sounds like a book. Cletus Goes to Talladega. That's what Brian said. And as soon as he said it, I thought that's a perfect name for a book. I'll be back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Really?
I guess we're going to do it early. I got to find my
Yes,
page.
we are, because Matt's not watching his watch. That's fine.
I'm ready.
I
got-
just you do it.
All right, I got it. Well, maybe I don't. All right, here we do. Okay, we will start on Wednesday. Brunswick, Georgia, the Golden Isle Speedway, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series continued their Speed Weeks March. $7,000 to win. Jonathan Davenport grabbed the win. Thursday night, Brunswick, Georgia, Golden Isle Speedway, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, $10,000 to win, and Jonathan Davenport did it again, picking up the big win there. Friday night, Greenwood, Louisiana, the Boot Hill Raceway for the Revival Dirt Late Model Series. Cade Dillard picked up the win there. Talladega, Alabama, the Talladega Short Track for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Donnie Schatz picked up his first feature win since the 2024 season. Really cool to see that for the multiple-time series champion. They ran again at Brunswick, Georgia, Golden Isles for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. $12,000 to win. Jonathan Davenport won again. He's 3 for 3 there. The 604 crates, that went to Ross Bales. And finally, the big race in Brunswick, Georgia last night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. $25,000 to win. 22nd starting Devin Moran picked up the win there in a wild and crazy feature race out there. Trey Mills, the 17-year-old Trey Mills, was leading that race late and just got into the wall real hard in turn one, and Hudson O'Neill was right alongside him and kind of got the car flipped up on top of the wall there. The wall is like where the level of the dirt is, and he started flipping up there, and unfortunately that took out what was going to be a heck of an upset, seeing Trey Mills win that race. But
it's very rare to come from that far back, isn't it, Brian?
Not really. I mean, there's plenty of it. I mean, I know a lot of people say there's no passing in dirt racing, but if you really pay attention, it's a lot of times there is.
All right.
So that is it for Speed Weeks for the for 2026. So Lucas Oil, and we'll take a couple weeks off. I believe the World of Outlaw late models get back in action next week, though. So there'll be late model racing.
Okay, on to the asphalt side of things. Thursday, the ARCA Menard Series ran at Phoenix. Carson Brown wins in his first ARCA start.
Looked good.
What's that?
He looked really good.
Last night, the 62nd Alabama 200 weekend at Montgomery Motor Speedway. The Pro Late Model winner was Caden Honeycutt. Only 12 cars in that one, though. Super Late Model winner was Jake Finch. Notables Dylan Fetcho second. Caden Honeycutt was 8th, and Weston Marthaler made the trek down there. He finished 16th. Smart Modified Tour at Anderson Motor Speedway in South Carolina. Your winner was Danny Bone. Luke Baldwin, Burt Myers, Jake Crum, and Ryan Newman rounded out the top 5, and that's it for asphalt.
Yeah, was
that car Carson Brown was in for the ARCA Series. Now, that's the one that Butterbean McQueen raced to a title last year. So that is really, really good equipment. And if ARCA holds. I mean, they had 40 cars at Phoenix. If this continues with this trend, there's going to be, ARCA's going to have pretty full fields this year, unlike the 20 or under cars series fields we've seen over the last couple of years, because it looks like a lot of these guys are going to run a lot of those races.
Very young drivers. And didn't we have like 9 female racers in this one?
Haley was in there.
6, I believe. Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, she told the announcers that she wanted to win the championship this year, and then she went out and had a good race for her. She ended up 11th. And
I believe Nitro brought 7 cars to Phoenix, which is the old Venturini series, team.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Hey, Tristan McKee was second, and he was a teammate of Carson Brown. Tristan McKee is the young man that drives for Green Bay's Richie Waters. And Waters is a kind of a satellite kind of a team for Spire is what it is. And McKee is under contract to Spire. And then so they have hired Richie Waters to provide cars for McKee in his development. Okay, well, this Tristan McKee character will be driving Richie Waters' car at the Slinger Nationals this year, so that will be fun to watch. And according to Richie, this kid is the real deal. He's really got the gift, so be fun to watch.
That's the Chevrolet pipeline, kinda, which is being run by the teams like we talked about last week.
There isn't much of one, Brian, but I'm glad that they actually have something going on. Is it Spire or is it Chevrolet or is it a combination of the both? I wish we knew.
Yeah. Believe it's a lot of Spire. But I mean, for ARCA last year, if you remember, if you watched a lot of them, Max Reeves was like unbeatable in the Gibbs car. Max Reeves finished 9th in that race the other night. And, that 18 car, whenever it showed up, just dominated, no matter who they put in it. If it was Brett Cruz or whoever was driving that car. But it wasn't this year. So ARCA might be a little more competitive this year, which we're all hoping to see.
Yeah, no kidding. And as far as car count, it's nice to have a car count. And it's only a matter of time before these names are going to be household names. But I didn't know anybody in that damn series. There's so few cars I actually heard of before. And was it 9 women?
I think it was 6.
6? Wow.
Yeah. Haley Deegan was in it. She finished 11th.
Yeah.
Not bad. She was the top finishing female in the race. Jade
girl,
Avedisian was in it. She had issues. She finished 28th.
Yeah, she got into some kind of a skirmish early, and then after that, the car wasn't right. And she is, from what I see so far, as I guess, not knowing, what other females have that kind of ability, but she certainly is a very talented young lady. So we'll keep a close eye on her career for sure. Let's see. What a story came out this week. We probably don't have enough time to cover it in its entirety right here before break, but Joe Gibbs hired a private investigator to go follow Chris Gabehart around. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, folks. This is amazing.
That means that they were planning to sue him. Why else would you do that? To try to get the proof. It's like they were already planning to do it.
I think when he was not happy there were rumors he was going to go to Spire, and they were worried about him going there. And a lot of that was playing on before the actual lawsuit came around. If you saw the court filing that Matt Weaver put out there, and there's like pictures that here they are getting in a car, here they are eating lunch together. It's like that old cheater show used to show. Everybody was like going on, following you around and taking pictures of you and stuff. So I think it was all brewing all towards the end of last year and over the off season, and then the lawsuit was kind of where it all exploded.
Kosovar had some words for that, didn't he?
Well, I guess apparently the restaurant is like right across the street from like the garage area where he said, why do you have to hire a private investigator? He just walked across the street and saw him there. But he put that out on X. Now it's Carson Kosovar. I mean, this is a lawsuit. You're going to get yourself involved in this. There's going to be discovery and everything else. And they're going to start looking at you now too. So, I mean, yeah,
He's an idiot.
There's something to actually look at there too, because didn't the kid Ty Gibbs have Monster Energy all these years?
And now it's looking to go to Carson.
The plot thickens. Interesting. I'll tell you what, it's just great, isn't it? We are going to take a break. We will be glad to return in just a couple of minutes.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Welcome back. There we go. My computer says my connection is unstable, so that's never a good thing. If you've never been to Phoenix, Arizona, this is a really good time of year to come visit. The weather is perfect. Spring training, you can watch the Brewers play a couple of times during the week. Like Matt and his family are out here, and they've done that this week. They've been to several Brewer games and been to the race yesterday and going to the race today as soon as this program is over. So there'll be no hangover show. It's really a good experience, and if you ever would like to do that, you might want to consider it. There's a lot going on at this time, and certainly I would say it's a wonderful place to bring a family and do a week, especially if you're a Brewer fan. My God, it's great. You get to his Micro Matt has about 100 autographs that he got from players. It's pretty cool to be out here for that. Noah Gregson. He hasn't been doing much. People thought he would do more than he's doing, but he didn't. He hasn't been doing much. But he actually came out and talked this week about on a program called Full Speed, which I'm not really familiar with what that is. But he actually came out and talked about what has happened to his dad. He was involved. He was drunk and killed a pregnant woman, and because he had the money, he got fined $21 million and is spending 20 years in jail. That seems like an appropriate fine and time in jail to me. But it's hard for a young man to keep his head on straight and try and make a career out of driving cars as fast as you can. Having that to deal with, and Dad is not going to get out of jail early. He's not going to do one of these. Good. After 8 years, you didn't piss anybody off, so they're going to let you out. No, apparently it's not going to work like that. He's going to spend his time, and he's already been in. I don't know how long. How long ago was that, Dan? That actually happened? A few years.
A few years now, I think. Yeah,
he's already been in a couple of years, but by the time he gets out of jail, his kid's career will be over if he sticks around that long. And maybe or maybe not would have been fun for the guy to go watch his kid race, and he will not be able to do that anymore. So it's quite a story. if you get to find this full speed, and let us know what it's about too, because I really don't know what that's about. You never know.
Documentary. It was on Netflix last 2 years. It always did the second half of the season, like the playoff area.
Oh,
and now this year they just did it for Daytona, the Daytona 500 week. It was on Netflix. I think it moved somewhere else now, maybe Prime, or I'll have to think. I'll have to look for where it actually is. But it was Netflix the last 2 years. I think it moved somewhere else.
Well, I wrote them both down. I can check them both and see. But yeah, quite a story. We knew about it, and we mentioned it a little bit briefly here. But it's a lot for anybody to have to deal with. The green flag today is late because now we have daylight time. 2:41. It didn't change here, but it did change everywhere else in the civilized world. And so it's a late start, and being a 312 lapper, it takes about a good 3 hours, but it'll still be light out where you are, so that's always a good thing too. And
that full speed is on Prime now. It is on Prime.
It is on Prime. Okay. All right. So Brian actually picked the winner last week. He said Tyler Reddick was going to win 3 weeks in a row, and I'll be damned if he didn't win it. And so, Brian, I'm sure you're going to take him for 4 straight today, correct?
No. I think it's probably going to be a Penske day. I'm going to probably go with Joey Logano.
All right. Well, speaking of Penske, let's go check in with PJ.
Boy, Todd, I'm going to go out on a limb today, and I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney.
Okay, there we go. That's what we get. Dan, you can go next.
I kind of agree with PJ. It's probably going to be Ryan Blaney. I'll take the 21, too. I think it's a good pick.
21?
Not 21, 12.
Okay.
He used to be in it 21 years ago.
It did. I am...
It's the time change that's throwing everybody off.
There you go. I am not a lover of Japanese race cars in the NASCAR series. I am not. I cheered for that 20 car when my friend Matt Kenseth was driving it. But for the most part, and I do like Reddick a little bit, but for the most part, I hate Jap cars. And I'm not really fond of them. But I think it's going to be a Gibbs car today. I'm fairly convinced of it. And it almost hurts me to say this, because after the debacle last year for the championship, I'm going to take the 11 car to win today. Why do I do these things? It's going to be one of them. I've been picking Christopher Bell, and that hasn't worked out well for me. So we're not overly good at any of these picks.
I think it'll be interesting to see what the tires do. I mean, I think they had some issues in practice already where tire wear could be an issue. That comes into play too. That's kind of what happened in the fall. I mean, a lot of times you had at a certain point, the tires just, wore out and blew. That, remember the 24 car had that right at the end, and that's what set up the green white checker, which pretty much cost Denny the championship last year. We'll see if that comes again today. They appeared in practice a little bit, and not every team had it, but a couple guys did blow tires in practice, didn't they?
Yeah, there was some. There was I had a note about this tire that they're running here. They've run it at several tracks, and this one, well, I guess I can't find the note I had, but yeah, this they're saying the combination is out there for there to be a really, really good race today, and when you put everything together between the weather and how everything is going to work in their favor with this tire and all that sort of thing. So I hope so, because actually I don't really like the overall racing on a flat 1 mile track. I realize that's what we have in Milwaukee and all that, but from when I was a kid, I remembered, wow, these races are great. But when you look at it, they get strung out unless you have well-placed cautions. It can really kind of be a nasty race, and that's why I was almost surprised that they had the championship race here for several years, because it just doesn't have the same dynamics as it does at Miami Homestead. So, we have to keep our fingers crossed for a good race today. Let's put it that way. So, guys, anything you can throw out there as we're winding down to our last break here? I think I tell you what, we'll come back for one more segment. We're glad you're tuned in, and we return right after these.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
So since the championship race a year ago, things are changed a little bit. They have more horsepower now. Keep that in mind. They're up to 750 horse from the 670 they used last year. You don't think that's much, but it does change the dynamic just a little bit. Power is a part of it, but the equation also includes you're on the brakes more, you're on the gas a little less, you're spinning the tires a little bit more. It's easier to wear tires out.
More brakes equals more heat on the tires as well.
There you go. So the whole package is going to change a little bit. Now, there are those that think it's going to make for a better race. I guess the time will tell on that, and we're going to see by watching today's race if that actually did happen. But we'll see. It's there's a lot to it. It amazes me. But what are the chances? Reddick, for those of you that don't think Reddick can win the first 4 races of the year, he's not bad at this track at all. I just don't think we should count him out of this thing, Brian, I don't know why you didn't pick him again. He's qualified 8th.
Yeah, I would say next week would be a bigger, place to put him because those cars in the mile and a half. Next week is when we're really going to get to see, especially the new body that the Chevrolets have, how they're going to look. The start of this season with Daytona and then Atlanta being, drafting tracks, and then you go to a road course, and now you got a short oval. The bread and butter are the mile and a halves, and next week is when we're really going to get to see where everybody stands, kind of where you're going to go forward for the whole season here, when you get to those bigger tracks. So, for people to say it's going to be, a runaway deal with Tyler Reddick, we haven't really run what we consider our bread and butter stuff yet. So next week will be the true test.
And here I thought it was going to be a Gibbs deal. Gibbs cars were 11th, 12th, 14th, and down quite a ways too. So, maybe they didn't qualify all that good, but I just have a real strong feeling. With a couple guys here, Cody Ware, Dan, this car, is that the same car? Has he been out to all the races so far with that thing?
Yeah, that's a 51 car.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here's a guy that is perfectly happy to be a back marker, a professional back marker. What is the point? There's some things that, we don't want guys to pull off the track, but we'd rather have you just fart around and look like shit running around the back all day long, which is what it's been with this Cody Ware dude. Are you really serious? This is what you want, huh? And Austin Hill is racing today too. For those of you who are Austin Hill fans, did you know there were 2 Austin Hills in the?
Are they both
race?
douche canoes?
No, just the one.
Okay.
What's the other guy uses his middle initial? Dan, what is it? Yeah,
J or
Austin
something
J
like that.
Hill or something. Yeah, something like that. So, and then you have guys like the 35 car whose money has got him this far, but is he going to be in that car next year when the time comes and we're going to maybe put a former truck champion with the ability to win in rather than just take the money and run, which is what I think it is with this kid. Oh, there's a lot to it. There's no doubt. We apologize because we didn't have telephone service today, and I know a lot of people like to weigh in on a lot of the stuff we're talking about. But today, just it was an experiment, and overall I thought it went pretty well. Matt has worked hard to get this thing so he can go on the road like this and spend a week with us here in Arizona. And today looks like he did a pretty good job. So thank you, Matt, for all of that. Brian, the guy that won that IndyCar race yesterday, Newgarden.
Joseph Newgarden.
He's actually won out here before?
Yes, he's been in this series for quite a while. He's Penske's main guy. He's been a champion before. He's one of the top of the rung guys in the IndyCar series, so it really was no surprise to see that. For a while there, it was Christian Rasmussen was leading it. Christian Rasmussen is turning into like the short oval expert. Remember his performance at Milwaukee last year, winning that race late? I kind of thought maybe he'd be the man to get the win.
Yeah, it was kind of the same as last time. That same way. That 21 car came through the field, and what do they call him? The Sultan of Sketch, because it wasn't very clean. It was kind of off the wall and off other cars. He kind of did the same thing this time around, but then it caught him when Will Power threw the block and he cut the fence. But I thought the same thing. I was watching a repeat of the Milwaukee race last year because I'm like, man, this guy's coming through the field.
Yes, he's one of the crowd pleasers for sure in the series. So it was cool to see the series there. Cool to see the fans turn out for it. And Phoenix is one of the traditional IndyCar tracks. They ran IndyCars there long before there was ever any NASCAR stuff there. So to see them come back and hopefully have some success out there, I think is a win-win for everybody involved, and as long as, you're going to team them up with NASCAR to get the crowds decent, I think it's a great idea.
Speaking of Will Power, I thought he drove for Penske. That's the little bit I know about it. I thought, well, Penske, I know. Will
that
Power.
was the big controversy last year was Penske didn't renew him, and he went to Andretti and had just a hellacious start to his season, wrecking at St. Petersburg last week, wrecking in practice on his qualifying lap. He had a really good first qualifying lap, and then the car just lost it and wrecked on his second lap at Phoenix. And IndyCar racing, they take the average of both of your laps instead of just one. So if they would have just taken the best of your two, he would have qualified really well. But that's not how they do it there. So, I think he salvaged somewhat of a decent day yesterday, but he's off to a really rough start.
There were folks that were just all giddy about that IndyCar race yesterday. I take it there was some passing for the lead on the last lap or two. I don't even know why I missed it. I was looking at a different battle, I guess. But there were people that were all excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not an IndyCar guy. I'm learning. I'm trying to figure
Next year I'll sit next to you and we'll guide you in the right direction.
That would really be nice. Of course, I won't be able to hear you or anything, but it's fun anyway. Oh, there we go. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to LTN with our split crew. 2 of us in Arizona, 3 of us back in Wisconsin, and we got through it okay. Joey Logano from the pole today. So there's a guy that needs a win, doesn't he? Then he can show everybody his shiny head. Here's something we always want everybody to remember. It's all about real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Hangover Losi. For all of us involved with the program, we appreciate you tuning in live on the internet and download it wherever you like to get your podcasts. And we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network. Bye.